Okay folks, here we are on the Maro map 12.4 again on Euro Truck Simulator 2, and this trip is we are moving fuel tanks from Brussels down to a new area of the map. Let's have a look at the trip that we have. We're in Brussels, we're going to head across Europe, head down to Bratislava where we get a connection that will take us down to Alexandria, I think it is. Or Cairo, is it Cairo? I think it's Cairo, and then from there we head out east to the new area of the map. All of this section here is all new, and you've got 4 more countries, and we are heading to Beirut, and there's a good number of miles of roads there, so this is an area I've never been to. So without further ado, let's get going. I've now got my Volvo truck back, the one that I prefer. We've also got a high-powered engine installed, so we should be powerful enough to get there. See. What time is it? 8:28 in the morning. Just get my lights set. We don't have a beacon, I don't think. If we do, I'm putting it off anyway. I've got the volume turned down a bit of the game because some of these high powered engines are quite loud. Quick check of the stream, it looks okay. This shouldn't be such a long trip. We've got the rest of the day to go, so we're just early in the morning, so how are we doing? We're okay, we've got a full tank of fuel. And it should be pretty much motorway or freeway or autobahn all the way south. That's good that you're letting us out. One thing I like about this truck with the gear settings that I've got in it, the gearbox that I've got in it, and the engine that I've got in it, I have not only got enough power, but if I need to chase a time down, I can do it. Plenty of power and plenty of speed if I need it. One thing I noticed last night when I also installed the latest version, there's an update to the American Truck Sim Mario map, which has been made compatible with the public beta 1.29 version. The only problem with that is that one of my mods is incompatible with it, which is the GPS at the top of the screen. The GPS mod that shows at the top of the screen in Eurotruck, it still works because we're still on 1.28. I haven't updated it to the beta because the Mario map, I think this is for 1.28, and there's going to be I said in the previous video, there's going to be a fair few changes over the next week or two, maybe the next couple of months, not only with the updates but with the different DLCs that are coming out. We've got the Italy DLC that's going to come out for Eurotruck, and there's also the New Mexico DLC which is going to come out for American Truck Simulator, and all of the Mario maps will have to be adapted. I think it's safe to say that probably the Mario map's one of the most popular, if not the most popular map, because of the scale of the maps. You've got tens of thousands of miles that you can drive, in game miles that is, and the only thing with those maps is you have to have all the DLC, so when they bring out the next DLC for American Truck and for Eurotruck, the Mario map will have to be updated and you will have to have the DLC or it won't work. So it all costs money at the end of the day. Be interesting to see what this well, we won't see obviously all of the new map area in the trip that we're doing today, but we're certainly going to be driving to Beirut, so it'll be interesting to see what the landscape's like down there. Pretty much desert, I would think. Right along the southern edge of the Mediterranean is an interesting drive. It's actually a lot longer than you think. It's quite a distance right along that coast road, which I've done on quite a few occasions. Already we're at 10:34 game time. And we're heading further and further south, trying to make the most of the daylight. I forgot this truck came with a GPS mounted in the dash there. speed limit is gone. So we're on the autobahn. We're comfortably doing 81 miles an hour. So this is more than capable setup on this truck. When you're driving at this speed, the one thing you've got to keep an eye on is that GPS, because even though this is the autobahn, there are some pretty tight bends on it in certain areas and you can easily get caught out. I mean, I'm only driving at this speed just to actually get to where we're going. I don't intend making it a very long drive. Trying to get there as quick as I can and make use of the daylight. But when I finished the trip that I did yesterday, the one to Pisco, or in the previous video to Pisco in Peru, first thing I did was go back to the Volvo garage that I discovered and change my truck to this one. And then I spent a little while looking around to find any deliveries that would take me down south to the new area of the map, and this is the one that I found. And I thought Beirut should be interesting. And also, the other thing is, the crucial thing is testing for any bugs or any crashes that we might get, especially when we make the airport connection to fly down to Alexandria. There's always those sort of bugs to look out for when you're going to new additional parts of the map. Can always cause problems, and we'll soon find out. You see what I mean about going at a crazy speed like this and then coming to these bends. You can see there's already a speed restriction, so you've got to be careful because the truck's going to tip over coming into a corner like this at too high a speed. This is exactly what I was talking about. You see these bends, they just suddenly, they're a lot sharper than you think they are. If you're going at too high a speed, obviously, as I am. See, the only reason I'm doing it is just to try and get there sooner and cut down the length of the video. We've still got 2,500 miles to go according to the GPS, but when we get to Bratislava and we make that connection to go to Alexandria, that's going to take a fair chunk of miles off, I would imagine. Another problem with this powerful engine that's installed is going at this speed, it eats up the fuel. I mean, we've got probably less than half a tank already. It does consume a lot of liquid. Now that bus is in the outside lane and he's obviously there for a reason. That car's tailgating him. It usually suggests we're going to go down to 2 lanes. Doing 100 miles an hour, easy as that. It's just gone 2 in the afternoon. At some point my driver's going to need a rest, but it might actually be convenient, it might actually be through the night. if he stays there, we're going to undertake him. The other problem with driving at this speed is the AI don't seem to recognise you when you're driving at this speed, because they'll just pull out. They tend to do that anyway, but you're obviously going to get caught out a lot more if you're flying along like I'm doing. It's crazy. Well, he's already getting tired, so that's a bit earlier than I'd hoped. We'll kick on. So that's just after 3 in the afternoon. So if we can go for another hour before we take the rest stop, then it'll be certainly after midnight when we start driving again. And the road should be quiet. Nearly get caught out there. Well, he's decided to pull back across. Normally it's a 750 engine that's in this truck. Well, once it's upgraded fully, but the powerful engines pack, I think it's version 11.4. It's got a number of very powerful engines. I think it goes up to about 3,000 odd horsepower. But this one that I've got in, I think, is a 1,300 horsepower, which is more than enough. It's handy for the heavy cargo deliveries, but also when you're trying to chase down some time. But you know, 3,000 horsepower you don't need. Right, there's a rest stop there. But I don't think, oops, I don't think it's I don't think it's got a fuel station. No, it doesn't, because we're at a border. So that's no good. There's a fuel stop up ahead. And it's now 4:30 in the afternoon, so that's perfect. We'll top the tank up and we'll then take our rest. And I'm expecting the diesel prices. What's that? Is that £5 or something per gallon? I'm expecting the diesel to be a lot cheaper when we go down to these Middle Eastern countries. It usually is. And I think we can park over here. Do. Well, that's us well after midnight. Just check we've got all our lights on. Yeah. I don't normally drive at this kind of pace in the game. I see a lot of guys sticking powerful engines in their trucks and driving at crazy speeds. See, my excuse is just to get to this new area of the map. That's all I'm interested in. And normally I tend to keep to the speed limit most of the time. Let's have a look at the map and see where we are. Well, you can see that we've still got a ways to go yet to get to Bratislava. And we left Brussels, so we've gone all that way so far, which is handy. And we shouldn't take that long to get to Bratislava, judging by the pace that we've been going at. Good thing about the Mario map is, if you look, the fact that we're going to Bratislava is the quickest area, the quickest point that we can get a connection that will take us to Alexandria. But if you didn't want to take that connection there, you could drive further down and go right down to Kalamata and get a ferry across to there, and then get another connection south. You've got various options as to how you get there, but this is the quickest way to get there. Just cuts out a lot more of the driving. 3:43 in the morning. Dawn's just beginning to break. And then by the time we get to about 6 AM, the traffic is going to start again. I'm just trying to get as many miles in as quickly as we can. I see the sign for Bratislava now, so we can't be that far. Another border. And here we come. Bratislava's just over the river. get zoomed in the GPS so that we don't take the wrong turn. So the rail connection of the airport is somewhere through the city. It's not far away. Can't be that far from it. Oh yeah, we're just around the next couple of bends, and then from there we head south to Alexandria, and then this is all the new area. All of this has been added to the 12.4 version of the Maro map. Those street lights went out a bit early. So we'll get this couple of bends to ground, and then we'll be at the rail connection of the airport, whatever it is. We don't really know. I think the symbol shows it's an airport. Straight ahead. Airport. Right now. Where the hell is it? It's got to be in here surely. Oh, there it is. Right, so we've got Cairo. Oh, it's Cairo we're going to, not Alexandria. I forgot. Yeah, it's Cairo. Right. Well, I've been here before, but now from Cairo, as soon as we get onto that road and we turn right, everything is new. Everything's a new area of the map. Now I'd imagine that's all going to be motorway or freeway. Anyway, we'll see what it looks like, see that it works okay. This is a bit of a squeeze. And it's 11:15 in the morning. Down in North Africa now. It's all desert. Let's have a look at that plane. See where it goes. Oh, we suddenly materialised there. Oh, he's disappeared. That was quick. See, this is still the old part of the Maro map. Now once we turn this corner and join the main road, this is all the new area, so fingers crossed it works okay. Is there fuel in here? If there is, I don't think there is it? Is it a fuel station? Yes it is. We'll just top her up again. Now, what's that on the big screen there? It looks like a tourist board video. Let's have a look at that. Well, it's certainly not high definition. Oh yes, it's certainly promoting Egypt. Right, that's enough of that. So we've got just 400 odd miles to go, so that won't take us long. The speed limit on this road is usually very high. It certainly is the further west you go. It's about, and I think it's about 80 odd mile an hour here as well. I forgot to check and see how much that fuel was. I knew it'd be a lot cheaper, but I forgot to look. The water. Well, I don't know about you, but I've always imagined Beirut with a lot of bomb-damaged buildings. So, I don't know what to expect when we get there. And this has been probably in all the time I've been driving on the Maro map and all the various updates to the Maro map. As far as I can remember, this is the first time for a long time where they've actually added more countries to it. Which probably gives you an idea of the amount of time it takes to actually put in the roads and all the other bits and pieces that you see as you're driving past. I mean, if you watched any videos on YouTube with the map modders, They don't have to put in every individual tree, but buildings can be put in groups, etc., to make it quicker. But in some cases you might find repetition. There's only a certain amount of assets that you have in the game that you can actually use to make maps with, but it does take a lot of time and effort. Not only that, then you've got to do all the testing and the bug fixing. And if the Mario map's certainly one of the more stable maps nowadays compared to others. Because it's such a large map, I mean, I have found the odd bug in it, and those bugs have been fixed. You quite simply can't drive on all the roads in this map. It would take you far too long to test everything, so a lot of the time the modders rely on the feedback they get. $360 miles to go. We're heading into unknown territory. Well, this is a bit more lush than I thought it would be. Beirut is off to the right, which is where we're headed. Now the fuel on mainland Europe, the last time we took diesel, was £5, just over £5 a gallon. Let's see how much it is here. It was always a lot cheaper down here on the western end of the Mediterranean map. Let's see how much it is here. Is that about 67 pence or something? Or I think it is much, much cheaper. We'll just top her up. Let's have a quick look again just to see where we are. That's where we arrived in Cairo, and we're heading along here to Beirut. Yeah, I think it's pretty much motorway or autobahn, however you want to call it. I think what we'll do though is we will take a little detour. Yeah, we'll take a detour in that way. Now where does that one go? That goes along the, that looks as if it goes along the coast. Yeah, we'll do that. Now what's going on here? Oh, we've got a bit of a fire, I think. I thought we're entering a war zone. Well, the poor guy doesn't seem to get much help there. He's standing there on his own. Let's have a look at the poor fellow. Where are we? We're upside down. Hang on a minute. Let me get my bearings. Oh, it helps if I put my brakes on, doesn't it? There he is. I wouldn't stand there, my friend. That's a bit too close to the edge of the road. You're probably safer standing next to your burning truck. That was a bit jerky. I'm looking at the video on the stream and it's looking a bit ropey. Typical of a late Friday afternoon when you try and stream. It gets a bit choppy in the bandwidth as it gets busier as people come home from work for the weekend. Now we've got a contraflow. Typical. Well, that's a bit tight. Well, that's a bit of damage. That's how you get caught out. Just barely wide enough to get a truck down here. I'm busy looking at the actual stream and it looks pretty bad. It's all of a sudden got quite bad. And that's about 5 to 5 at night UK time, so it never is the best of time to try and stream. We're getting to late afternoon, so it's going to be night when we arrive there. This part of the map looks fairly normal, nothing unusual other than the occasional cactus. LIIVE. Well, the game hasn't crashed. I suppose that's a good sign. Thing I never checked is this, when are we actually to be there for? I can't read the bloody GPS thing. What does it say? Friday. Friday morning we have to arrive. have a little look over here. See what they've put down here. Yeah, we'll hold the traffic up. The problem with a lot of maps for me is I spend a lot of time not paying attention to where I'm actually driving and looking around to see if I can spot various things. Just under 200 miles to go. Now, when did I say we were to be there? Was it Friday morning? So we've plenty of time. And what time is that? 18:14. I think what we should do is take a rest stop. I think that's what we should do. And get used to the daylight. And we'll make the most of this cheap fuel while we're down here. We'll just top it up again. Why not? Yeah, that's the cheapest fuel in the map. Yes, that's about what, 70 minutes past 6 at night. So 6 hours, midnight, about, it'll be after 2 in the morning. So we should be arriving just as dawn's breaking. Right, we'll take that break. What time is it? 3:18 in the morning, just nice timing. Right. Get ourselves lit up. Well, I suppose the map could keep expanding as long as the modder wants to put the time and effort into it. What the hell's this? Surely they haven't been bombing the roads here, have they? Well, it's nothing too severe. How long have we been streaming? An hour or so. I think, is this another border? What does that say there? That's, I've never seen that road sign before. I presume it's, I was thinking it was a speed, a national speed limit sign, but possibly not, because we're still doing 25 miles an hour. Don't know what that sign means. So we are taking that slight detour. I'm thinking it's maybe a coast road. I don't know, but we'll find that out when we get there. Now, what does that say? Beirut, Tel Aviv, straight ahead. Just waiting in the first rays of the sun coming over those mountains. And you start wondering, why are we going at 25 miles an hour, 25 kilometres an hour, I think. We're okay now. The sun rays coming through those trees. Well, here's our little detour coming up. Well, I was hoping, I was anticipating this being a coastal road. It doesn't look like it. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. What's that? Oh, there we go. There's a big container ship. I was right enough. So we're back along the coast. There's another big one there as well. Big oil tankers. LIIVE. Now what does that sign say there? Port Centro. Porto Centro. Well, this is going to be a bit tricky, is it not? Oh shit. I was too busy looking at the truck. Trying to beat the truck. How much damage have I done to this damn thing? About 4% or something. Let's check that map, because I think there's a couple of discoverables up here. Now, where the hell are we? We're there. Right, now, I think if we go that way, we can open up those two. So, one's probably more than likely a recruitment agency and possibly a truck dealership. Right, we'll go that way. Need to zoom in the GPS, make sure I don't miss a turn. The stream seems to have settled down again. Could we have some klaxon, please? There you go. I wasn't sure whether it fitted horns to this truck. Right, so we've got a truck dealership there. What one is it? Or is it a truck dealership? It's a Volvo. Now, why is it not discovering it? We're driving past it. That's weird. Because normally you can drive past a truck dealership on the opposite side of the road and you'll still discover it, but it doesn't seem to have done that there. Maybe that's a bug. Now where's this other one? That's a company. Right, it's up on the left. On the wrong side, wrong bloody lane. Well, that's a recruitment agency. Let's see if it discovers that. Oh, it has. For some reason didn't get the truck dealer. Well, that should be it. Pretty much straight into Beirut now. 101 miles to go. Let's have a look, double check where we've come from. So the objective was to get to the new area of the Maro map, and we drove from Brussels. Where the hell's Brussels? It's up there somewhere, I can't see it for looking at it. There it is. And we drove down to Bratislava, got the connection from there down to Cairo, and then we've driven along here, the objective getting to Beirut. So all of that area from that point there at Alexandria, all of this is all new, and that's Taipei, that's Tokyo in Japan, very small map. I presume that's the Indonesia map. I'm not 100% sure. And then further north is the Russian map. That's the biggest, one of the biggest areas of the map. And then over here we have Iceland. We have the Faroe Isles, Finland, Norway, Sweden. This is a standard map for the UK and the rest of Europe. And then you go down, you've got Spain and Portugal, you've got Italy, And this is the original part of the Mario map down as far as where we showed you there, and then if you go across we have that's part of Canada. You've got Quebec there, Montreal, you've got part of the United States there, and you have the Hawaiian Islands and Cuba. That's a Cuba map. I don't like that map, it's pretty bland, there's not a lot in it. And then this one is the Canary Isles, those there, and then you've got the Brazil map, and then the rest of South America. So this is a huge map. Bogota up in Colombia, and this map goes all the way down. Tens of thousands of miles of driving on it, and that's it. That's all of the Mario map. Right, so let's get this job done. So we've got a bit of repairing at the truck to get done before we do our next job. Now you would imagine there'd be quite a bit of building going on in Beirut, bearing in mind most of the buildings were blown to bits. Let's have a little fly around. Big container ship. Hanjin lines, you would imagine that'd be a Chinese boat. We'll be holding the traffic up again. There we are there, holding the traffic up, just as I said. I don't see any other boats. Right. Now, what's that over there? A castle? Let's have a look at that. Don't know what it is. There's something. What was that I could see? Was it that there? Oh, look at those buildings. They're floating in mid-air. Of course, you're only meant to see them from the road, so you wouldn't see them behind the hills. You would just see the buildings. You wouldn't see the fact that they're actually just floating. Yeah, that's like an old castle. What the hell is this? Oh, a factory. Right. We've seen enough of that. Get a speed restriction again, and we timed that right. So what we got, is that 40 miles to go? Yep, 39 miles. So we're almost there. Now, what's that ahead? Funny looking mountains. Saida. Thank you. So this is Beirut. Yeah, extensive rebuilding going on, I think we'll say. We've got big tower blocks over there getting built. Big jet coming into land. Oh, we're dropping something off at the airport, are we? Looks like it. What the hell's that there? A boat and a trailer, I think. I think it is. Anyway. I think we've arrived. Now, where the hell are we parking this damn thing? I think we've probably come in the wrong turn. Or is it? Is that the company over there? Oh yeah, there we are. A little bit of graphic problem here in the ground. It seems to clear itself up the closer you get to it. Right, so we have arrived in Beirut. That'll do. How many million did we get for that delivery? We're shooting away up to level 342. Needless to say, I'm using the JNR, SNR, XP and money cheat to test this map. Right, so let's have a look at the world map, sorry, the job market, and just see what jobs we can get from Beirut. Well, that one's going to be right along the coast, all the way back along, and then a connection from, where the hell is that from? Zawara, right across to the Canary Isles, and then from there across to usually Paranagua, and then head north in Brazil. Well, we don't want to go there, we've already been to Brazil. Well, there's an interesting one, but that's back where we came. Let's see if there's any closer ones. That's Poland. That's Paranagua again, and that's way deep into South America. I wouldn't mind one that will take me up into the Russia map, because I've not been there yet. And there doesn't seem to be one. Oops, wait a minute. That's Germany. Lazio, that's Italy. Oh, wait a minute, what's that one? Well, that's into Russia. But where the hell? Right, so that's along there. Ah, got it now. And then a connection from there to there. Well, I think it's not that long a journey, so I think we'll make that one. Let's double check the next ones. That's one in the States. Lisbon in Portugal. Brazil again. Pelosi's in Bolivia, so that's right across South America again. So we'll go back to that one, and that will be our next job. So that's from Beirut to Maikop. So we're going back where we came, back along to Cairo or Alexandria this time, possibly, to get the ferry to Cyprus. I think that's Cyprus, I might be wrong. And then from there up to Istanbul in Turkey, and then from there across to whatever the hell that says, and then the drive all along to Maikop. So that's going to be our next job. But that's for another day. In the meantime, we'll have to get the truck fixed, and we'll call it quits. So that's our first look at a couple of the new countries in the latest version of the Mario map, version 12.4 for 1.28 in Euro Truck Simulator. And with that, we will say thanks for watching, and we will see you again sometime.